Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So, a lot of people are looking forward to the Harry Potter TV series that's coming to HBO in 2026. And as with any other Harry Potter product, you have a lot of fans with very high expectations, which are quite frankly deserved. And then you also have a lot of usual suspects on places like Twitter who scream and cry anytime something Harry Potter related is created because they think it's going to help out J.K. Rowling. Whether she's actually involved or not doesn't really matter to them. But this series is definitely being pitched, at least in the beginning, to the long-term fans of the franchise. In fact, over at HBO, their chairman and CEO assured fans that this would be a faithful adaptation. Now, when you say those words, you are creating a very high expectation because people are tired of beloved franchises having their source material stomped on and vandalized for a modern reboot or new show based on it. And right here, they created the expectation, so they better not mess up. And you know what? They already did. This pretty much speaks for itself right here. Papa Isiedo, did not pronounce that right, my apologies, has now been cast as Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing double. I mean, which one is the real Snape? I can't even tell right now. They look so close. Yeah, this is obviously ridiculous, and people are absolutely fed up with this because this is not just some virtue signaling campaign here. It goes even further. I mean, it's literally destroying canon. It's rewriting a character and going against everything it's been described as for, at this point, decades, right? There's very obvious points to make here, but as you can see, these accounts are always cowards. Like the discussing film account and Culture Crave, all of these basically soy boys, they hide every comment that's negative about the films they are trying to promote. I mean, why are you hiding stuff like this? People disagree with this choice. And for good reason, as I'll point out, the most basic reasoning here is the way that Snape is described. A thin man with sallow skin, a large hooked nose, and yellow uneven teeth. So a pale, white dude who is ugly, for lack of a better way of describing it, right? And you can see the old sketches by J.K. Rowling herself. And she also clarified in a different sketch saying that Snape is often confused with Count Dracula, mainly due to his appearance and light skin and all of that sort of stuff. So that obviously shows that this character was intended to be played by someone with pale skin. I think that is something that is very obvious, but not too obvious to everyone. You can see Paul Tassi here, a games journalist, saying, I feel like it's kind of a key thing that Snape is not supposed to be super traditionally handsome. And he's right. Snape is not supposed to be traditionally handsome. But they're leaving out the most obvious thing that everyone already noticed, but he's too afraid to say. It's that Snape is not supposed to be black. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say, but when you're someone like Paul Tassi and you play into wokeism and political correctness, you can't even say the objective and clear reality right in front of you because you're afraid of upsetting the narrative and having your constituents mad at you. But isn't it great to break away from those things and be able to actually say your thoughts and feelings on something that is so obvious to everyone else? Yeah, this is a trap you don't want to end up in. But a lot of people made their observations about this. Tweets going viral left and right. 463,000 likes on this tweet saying, I can't wait for the flashback that shows Harry's dad bullying a black kid for being poor and unattractive. Yeah, I don't think that's going to really work out the way that they intended. Also, in those scenes, if my memory serves, Snape is would be the only black person too, which makes this an even more extreme set of events here. And also people pointed out that there is a flashback scene where Harry's dad hangs Snape. He uses his magic to lift him upside down and hang him from a tree. Okay, by swapping out this actor, Rickman, with a black man, that's going to be a real awkward scene. I don't think that's something that any of these related parties want to have out in the media scape there. But anyways, other people made similar observations saying this. Snape's whole storyline is about his weird, obsessive unrequited love for a white woman and resentment towards her white husband and son. Unless the Potters are all gonna be black too, it feels a bit uncomfortable to cast a black actor in that role. Another very fair point made there. And here's another reaction this person's saying, with the impact that Alan Rickman had on a generation of fans as Severus Snape, whoever was chosen for this role was gonna have a hard time. It's always hard being the guy after the guy. For them to go this direction though, I hope my guy has tough skin. I am sending you positive vibes, and I hope you crush that shit, bro. I will be watching this for sure. So yes, two very fair points here. Number one, having to follow up Alan Rickman and his portrayal of Snape, that's already a very daunting task. Then you add this into it, another layer where people are basically criticizing your casting based on something that really shouldn't even have been an issue in the first place if they had done a proper casting of this character. They basically dragged him into this. Of course, this actor accepted this voluntarily. He didn't have to accept this role, but I feel like HBO is quite literally throwing this guy to the wolves by hiring him for Snape. He is now out there getting blasted by pretty much everyone on social media, and yeah, who would have not seen that coming? It was the most obvious reaction. Clearly, people were not going to be thrilled about this casting choice, and they were going to make the very obvious criticisms of this choice. But let's move on here to another comment saying the casting of Papa Essiedu, again, not even close on the pronunciation, my bad, as Severus Snape is blatant DEI nonsense, and America is beyond over it. Every single Harry Potter fan wanted Adam Driver. Hollywood is actively committing gay men to spite its audience. I mean, have you seen the Oscars recently that was premiered about a week ago? I mean, it's an absolute slop fest. They are literally going down with the ship. Hollywood does not care. They are literally never going to listen to what the average person thinks or feels. They're not going to go with the change of the wind here and how people are done with DEI and all this virtue signaling nonsense. They are literally driving themselves into the ground. They are literally crashing the ship into the iceberg, and they don't care because they don't want to change their ways or admit that they're out of touch. And this is just another example of that. And also, very good point about Adam Driver. A lot of people brought that up. He was pretty much tailor-made for this role, which unfortunately comes with a connotation. You can play an ugly character, but I think that's something that's more of a compliment as to what you can achieve with a character. Poor Rickman. I mean, he was catching those strays for it all the time, but he was a fantastic actor for sure. And again, big shoes to fill, but like this would have been a fantastic choice overall. But looking at some of the reactions, you knew there'd be some. I would say 99% of reactions to this are negative. They're calling out the casting choice. They think it's stupid. Okay, kind of refreshing to be honest with you. I think this is something pretty much everyone, no matter what spectrum on any sort of political compass or anything like that you fall on, I think anyone looking at this objectively just goes, yeah, this is a stupid casting choice. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's basically vandalizing the entire concept of this character as expressed by J.K. Rowling. But anyways, you have a person like this saying, hard disagree. Snape needs to be ugly and white because he is the perfect definition of a sore loser incel. Plus, the fandom is racist as hell, and HBO won't protect him. Well, they're kind of right for a second, but then, of course, you can see this person is seething about the incels online, which I'm sure is just everyone who disagrees with whatever this person is trying to spout online. But also, we have another example, like I said earlier, Culture Crave is another party that always is hiding comments, so you know you got to check them out. They did their engagement bait here. They got in on this with the copy pasta tweet of the news that everyone else has already reported on, and then they hid a bunch of stuff, including someone saying woke nonsense, cancel, and then they left this poll. They actually hid this poll where someone said excited, and 77% of people said no. Only 7.5% said yes. That's not very good, especially on a big shill account like this. That's not a very good look. Small sample size, of course. But still, I don't think people are too excited about this. I think people were very apprehensive. And then we saw HBO come out through their chairman and say, look, guys, it'll be okay. Long-term fans of the franchise, we got you. It's going to be a faithful adaptation. And guess what? Turns out that's not the case already. We're not even seeing the actual story playing out or actual scenes or anything like that. We're just seeing the casting choices, okay? They're fumbling already just with the casting choices alone. That is a very bad sign and basically signals that there's going to be a lot of trouble coming this way with this project here. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.